On the news, Nigeria's inflation rate in September rises to 32.70% due to petrol price hikes. PDP lifts suspension on National Working Committee members as governors broker truce. And Amewule-led Rivers Assembly declares pro-Fubara lawmaker seats vacant. Thank you for joining us on News Now on TV360 Nigeria and Simisola Atikun. Nigeria's headline inflation rate in September 2024 has risen to 32.70%, up from 32.15% in August 2024, marking a 0.55% increase month on month. This is according to the National Bureau of Statistics. The Consumer Price Index report, which stated that inflation during the month was propelled by increases in transportation costs and food prices. The new increase, first in 3 months, comes on the heels of the increases in petrol prices by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited since early September. The food inflation rate in September 2024 was 37.77% year-on-year, marking an increase of 7.13 percentage points from the 30.64% recorded in September 2023, while core inflation, which excludes volatile agricultural products and energy prices, stood at 27.43% year-on-year in September 2024, an increase of 5.59 percentage points compared to 21.84% in September 2023. The Nigerian Senate has passed the bill on the establishment of a National for Drug Awareness and Rehabilitation in a bid to coordinate and promote drug awareness, prevent substance abuse, and facilitate the rehabilitation of drug users. The bill is sponsored by the senator representing Kano Central, Hanga Rufai. While contributing to a debate on the general principles of the bill, the senator representing Kano South, Kawu Sumaila, claimed some of the houses of lawmakers and constituency efforts are used to stockpile drugs by workers. The chair of the Committee on Sports said politicians and appointees should be made to go through compulsory drug tests before elections and appointments.
How many of us can swear with Quran or Bible that in any way they are not supporting drug abusers in their constituency? I am happy if all of us can swear with the Holy Quran that they are not in any way in support of drug abusers or intoxicating youth in their constituency to take drugs for their political. And Mr. President, we need, whether we are allowing this bill to continue to have an agency or we are strengthening LDE, we need to create a situation where before contesting election or before taking appointment at whatever in government level, you must go for drugs test.
More than 70% of our youthful population are into drug consumption. And from my own little discussion in my constituency, I discovered that the issue goes beyond NDLEA. NDLEA had become so compromised, so ineffective, to the extent that leaving drug enforcement or drug education.
I agree we must deal decisively with drug-related issues, but I'm not convinced that we need to establish yet another agencies that will be competing with the NDLEA.
A bill for to establish the National Institute for Drug Awareness and Rehabilitation to coordinate efforts in promoting drug awareness, preventing substance abuse, and facilitating rehabilitation of drug users, and for related matters, 2024 second reading taken.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, says there's a need for a close working relationship between the ministry and the Nigerian Football Federation in a bid to check any unsuitable occurrences in future. The minister said this during a meeting with the president of the NFF, Ibrahim Gassau, in the wake of the controversy between Nigeria's Super Eagles and Libyan authorities, when the national team arrived in the host country on Sunday for the return leg of the 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifiers game. The team was delayed and stranded by Libyan authorities for 20 hours at the Al Abrak airport. While condemning the ill treatment meted on the Super Eagles, the minister further underlined the Nigerian government's commitment to the safety of all citizens in any part of the world.
He's a Tunisian, and he worked in Libya for about 2 years as a pilot. That was even one of the key reasons that helped us to see that we land in Al Abrak airport safely, because all the necessary navigators and other things that were needed in an airport for such kind of landing were not at that airport. So it was just because he was used to the terrain for 2 years. That was how he was able to maneuver it and get us down. Even as he was complaining to them that time that he didn't have enough fuel, that he can be roaming around, but they still insist it is an authority, it is instruction from the higher authority. There's nothing they can do. He has to divert and go and back. So the pilot later has to use his personal connection to talk to one of his friends. Then later on, that his friend come and see how he can come and pick them up to try and go and accommodate them without the people knowing where he's taking them to. That is how they were able to rest, for us to even feel free to follow him to fly. Because had it been they were not able to fall into the situation we found ourselves, we even could have allowed him to fly us at that time that we left the country.
I think part of the problem was some in Libya felt that there was poor treatment of their own football team when they came to Nigeria, but that does not even apply, because the whole essence of sports and the sporting ethos is to take it outside of politics and to ensure that the maximum level of fairness is applied. So a situation where a team would go out to play in a foreign country and they are subjected to this sort of treatment and then still expected to be on top of their game when they play, clearly you can see that this does not apply, and it's something that I think the CAF and other bodies that organize and supervise these soccer matches have to pay closer attention to and take action, decisive action.
Well, let's go back to the story on the increase of Nigeria's inflation rate. According to the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, the inflation rate in September 2024 rose to 32.70%, up from 32.15% in August 2024, marking a 0.55% increase month on month. Well, joining me to discuss this further is economist Akin Ogunshola. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Now, this new increase in Nigeria's inflation rate, which is the first in 3 months, has been attributed to the rise in petrol price. Now, do you think that, some measures could have been implemented to prevent this increase?
Yes, thank you very much. I think the rise in the price of petrol in September actually is the main reason why the inflation figures is going up. Because you will recall that the price of petrol before the increase was just around 620 naira to a liter. But in September, the federal government announced that petrol price has now increased to about 890 naira. That was a major increase in the petroleum price, which affected the price of food, basic food items and other products. So that was why the inflation actually rose. Government should have considered alternative to consistent and persistent increase in fuel price. It would have been better and save us from this rise in inflation again.
And analysts believe that the renewed rise in inflation raises the prospect that the Central Bank of Nigeria could choose to continue with its rate hiking cycle after 5 hikes so far this year. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, the rates hike is actually a problem, because continuous increase in the rates, the CPI, also the borrowing rates, lending rates, is not solving the problem. Now, if the inflation continues to go up and CBN is increasing the rates, it's like we are stifling the economy of growth, and that will be another problem. So the problem that we are facing that is causing this inflation is majorly the increase in the price of petrol, which affects a lot of things. You see that when the price of petrol has been stable over some months, we now saw inflation, going down. For 2 months, inflation went down because of that, non-fluctuation or increase in the fuel price or even in the rates. But as soon as the petroleum product price went up, we now see inflation also going up again. So this is actually the problem. Not really, if CBN cannot continue to increase the rates, that will not solve the problem now.
Well, economist Akin Gushala, many thanks for giving your thoughts on this. Moving on, governors on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, have nullified the suspension and counter-suspensions issued by feuding members of the party's National Working Committee last week. The chairman of the PDP Governors Forum and Governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, announced this at the end of a two-day meeting on Monday. He added that while there are no factions in the party, everything has reverted to the status quo under acting chairman Umar Damagum, pending the time the governors and other organs of the party will sit down and resolve all other pending issues. As the political crisis in Rivers rages on, the Martin Amerule-led faction of the State House of Assembly has declared the seats of the Chief of Staff to the Governor Siminalayi Fubara, Edison Eye, and 3 other pro-Fubara lawmakers vacant in the wake of their absence from sittings for 152 days. While making the declaration on Tuesday during plenary, Amerule explained that Eye did not properly write to inform the House of his new office, and as such, his seat has been declared vacant. The House further agreed to write to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to conduct elections to replace the now vacant seats within 90 days to provide representation for the people of Rivers State. The Assembly also agreed to give Fubara another opportunity to present the 2024 Appropriations Bill following the Court of Appeals nullification of the 800 billion naira budget which he had presented to a parallel house led by Edison Eye. In Lagos, the state governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has launched the commercial operations of the Red Line Rail on Tuesday. In a statement, Sanwo-Olu said the train service will move about 500,000 Lagosians daily on the corridor. He said commercial operations will run from Agbado to Oyingbo, adding that the government will continue to ramp up the schedule. We'll take a break now, but still to come, Kenya court to rule on bid to stop Deputy President's ouster. We'll have details when News Now returns.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
When you go into public office, you must be ready to answer to the people.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On Digi 360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians are saying in this part of the world. A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, and use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
Digi 360, dissecting the issues.
Welcome back. Here's a reminder of our top stories. Nigeria's headline inflation rate in September 2024 has risen to 32.70%, up from 32.15% in August 2024, marking a 0.55% increase month on month. This is according to the National Bureau of Statistics, saying that the Consumer Price Index report, which states that inflation during the month was propelled by increases in transportation costs and food prices. The new increase, first in 3 months, comes on the heels of increases in petrol prices by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited since early September. We also informed you that the Martin Amaewhule-led faction of the Rivers State House of Assembly has declared the seats of the Chief of Staff to Governor Siminalayi Fubara, Edison Ihe, and 3 other pro-Fubara lawmakers vacant in the wake of their absence from sittings for 152 days. While making the declaration on Tuesday during plenary, Amaewhule explained that Ihe did not properly write to inform the House of his new office, and as such, his seat has been declared vacant. In case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV and AVO TV, or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery and Apple Store. On Facebook, we are at TV360 Online.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
Wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the GoTo app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other Paper Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Corruption not in my country.
It's about the files your secretary presented to me regarding the company's salary. Yes, the figures don't seem to add up. I suspect there's some form of a
discrepancy.
Precisely, sir.
Keep the figure that way.
That's fraudulent, sir.
That's my money.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't do that, sir.
See how padded your teeth are. Are you telling me you cannot pad up figures?
Sir, padding is against best auditing practices, and it's a form of corruption.
It's true. Accountant.
You were testing. Thank you, sir.
That's it. Bagoli.
Yes, sir.
You are fired.
Yeah. Fine, sir. Rather than watch corruption grow under my watch. Padding is a form of corruption and not in my country, sir.
Corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Well, it's time for business news. Tamilore Kikolie is on standby with the latest. Over to you, Tamilore.
Thank you, Somisola. Well, in the world of business, the Nigerian telecom sector has seen an improvement in foreign direct investment this year, as it attracted a total of $304 million in the first 6 months of 2024. According to the data from the National Bureau of Statistics, the sector has more than doubled the $134.75 capital importation recorded in the full year 2023 with a 6-month record of 2024. This is coming after years of consistent significant decline in investment, even with a gaping infrastructure gap requiring billions of investment to bridge. The MBS data showed that the sector attracted $191.5 million capital inflow in the first quarter of this year, marking a significant 769% increase compared with $22.05 million received in the first quarter of 2023. We'll go on a short break here and be back with stock market reports. It's the second weekday of trading, and Nigeria's stock exchange market ended in the greens at 0.33%, with the market cap at 59.72 trillion naira. Now, at the end of today's trading, 119 NGX listed equities participated in trading, ending with 15 gainers against 29 losers. Now, Champions Breweries led the gainers with 9.97% shares appreciation, ending at 3 naira 42 kobo, followed by Tantalizer at 0 naira 60 kobo. Now, for our market summary, 286 million volumes of shares were exchanged in 9,650 deals, corresponding to a market value of 26 billion naira. Now, when this data is compared to the previous weekday trading, which is Monday, today's data shows 6% decline in volume, 36% improvement in turnovers, and 19% improvement in deals. As we to select global stocks, the US FTSE and UK FTSE and US Dow Jones ended in the reds, leaving only the Japan's Nikkei in the greens at 0.77%. Now, for our foreign exchange market, the dollar traded at 107,000 naira, pounds at 2,265 naira, and euros at 1,860 naira on the black market. And that's it on both business and stock market report. Over to you, Simi, for the rest of the news.
Thank you very much, Samilare. And on the foreign scene, a Kenyan court is due to rule on Tuesday, seeking to stop a Senate debate and vote on the impeachment of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. In a historic move last week, the National Assembly had voted overwhelmingly to impeach Gachagua on 11 charges, including corruption. Gachagua filed the court challenge to stop the upper house proceedings set for Wednesday and Thursday, arguing that his impeachment had been unfair and fast-tracked. The 59-year-old has denied all allegations and will continue to serve in his role until the Senate decides whether to approve his removal. The Arab American Political Action Committee says it will not endorse Democratic Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, or Republican former President Donald Trump, citing what it called their blind support for Israel in wars in Gaza and Lebanon. The November 5 U.S. elections will mark the first time the AAPAC has chosen not to endorse a Democrats candidate since the group's inception in 1998. Polls show the race between Harris and Trump as tight. Arab and Muslim Americans overwhelmingly backed President Joe Biden in 2020, but have been vocal opponents of U.S. support for Israel, which has eroded their backing of Democrats. On sports, the president of the Nigeria Football Federation, Ibrahim Musa Gusau, and Edo State Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu were among the officials, coaches, and players who were denied food for several hours while in Libya for the rematch between the Nigerian Super Eagles and the host nation in the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers game. Attempts to make an effort to get the Nigerian delegation out of the airport were met with hostility by Libyan officials. They say while stranded in Libya, the Nigerian government says it initiated diplomatic efforts to address the situation, which resulted in futility.
To behave like that, we all know how football can unify the entire world. It's entertainment, you know. But for the Libyans to put up such act, it was very surprising for me.
All through my active sport activity, I've never gone through this kind of torture and pains that these players and all of us went through. Football is a game of unity. Football brings everybody together. It's shocking to see a country treat another country, a national team of another country, the way the Libyan did.
Late this afternoon, CAF also issued a statement And they use very strong words, unacceptable. They use strong words about, referring this matter to their, to their committee, disciplinary committee, and they're going to investigate this and are going to take appropriate action in terms of whoever was responsible for this and the extent to which it has gone against the CAF regulations. I think that we're going to look forward to that with keen interest as a country and as a people.
Still on sports, Manchester United has ended its annual multi-million-pound remuneration to legendary former manager Alex Ferguson as the club's new co-owner Jim Ratcliffe looks to reduce operating costs. The decision to stop the payments, which were made as part of Ferguson's role as a global club ambassador and non-executive director, is part of broader financial cutbacks under the ownership of Ratcliffe's Ineos Group. 82-year-old Ferguson, who retired as Man United manager in 2013 after overseeing the club's most successful era, continued to receive a substantial salary from the club in his post-managerial roles. Despite the change, Ferguson will retain his role as a non-executive director and is welcome to attend games at Old Trafford. Well, that's it on News Now. Many thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.